tour? Yeah, right. Who the hell do you think you are? Just because you're the crown prince doesn't mean you can barge into someone's home. I could literally take you to court for this. Obviously, that was all just in my head. There was no way I'd ever say any of that to his face. I was terrified of saying the wrong thing. Like he just dragged me off and throw me in prison, and then snatch Jingxing away from me. At that point, I might as well be dead. So honestly, I really regretted it. Why didn't I just train harder with Xiao Dezi back then? If I had actually put in the work, how would I even be in this helpless position right now? Running away with the kid at this point? Not happening. All I could do was let them in. Because at this hour, Imperial Guards showing up with 2 big dogs, standing outside my gate, was definitely gonna attract a crowd. I had to talk myself into it. But I stepped aside and let them in. Inside the main room, he sat right down in the head of household seat and started looking around my place with this frown on his face. You've been raising a kid in a dump like this? Is this even livable? I was speechless. This is a 3-courtyard estate, sir. But I guess if you're gonna be emperor, a place like this just doesn't cut it. Jingxing was a pretty reserved kid. He'd open up around me, sure. But around people he respected or didn't know, he'd just go quiet. Fu Yunzheng had his eyes locked on Jingxing the whole time, occasionally throwing a glance my way. Honestly, the way he was staring, I felt like he wanted to pop his own eyeballs out and stick them onto Jingxing, just so he could keep watching him. I was genuinely scared. He was gonna send those guards to take my kid, so I sweet-talked and played it cool, and got Xiao Dezi to take Jingxing back to his room. Now in the room, it was just me and Fu Yunzheng, and the vibe was weird. 2 people with history. You'd think there'd be some feelings in the air, but I felt absolutely nothing like that. Just pure uncontrollable nerves. The pressure in the room dropped so low, I could literally feel a chill. After what felt like forever, Fu Yunzheng finally stopped staring at me. He broke the silence first. They say girls take after their dads, and boys take after their moms. But our kid doesn't really look like either, does he? I shot back without thinking. He's my Jingxing. He has nothing to do with you. But before I could even finish, he pulled me right into his arms in one swift move. All these years apart, and you've grown some wings, huh? Ready to fly? Instead of feeding me lies, why don't you explain something? How exactly did our blood mix when we did the blood test? I couldn't believe it. This guy came prepared. He'd already gone behind my back and done a blood test on the kid. Where was I even supposed to go with that? Since he'd already laid the truth, right in front of my face. I stopped pretending, and straight up admitted Jingxing was his. But I was still confused. How did he even figure out Jingxing was his in the first place? When I asked, he gave me this look, like I was the dumbest person he'd ever seen. I was visiting my teacher in disguise one day, and saw some kids there. Teacher told me they were disciples he'd taken in from the north. One of them looked so much like me as a kid, that I had my old nanny brought from the palace. She took one look and said, "This little one looks exactly like you when you were young." Something clicked for me. So I had a bowl of water brought over, and our blood mixed right in it. Honor, you've put me through hell all these years, and made me search for you for so long. As I listened to him go on, I kept imagining his hands reaching for my throat, squeezing the life out of me. Honor, you've put me through hell all these years, and made me search for you for so long. He said it again. I was terrified. I couldn't get a single word out. Then he just kept going, calm as ever. I noticed he looked like me, and after the blood test confirmed it, I asked the kid where he came from. And that's when I got the biggest surprise of my life. His mother's name was Shen Qinghuan. The exact same name as the maid who ran away from my estate years ago. It was the same. Shen Qinghuan, how dare you run off with my child? He suddenly grabbed my shoulders so hard. I looked at my wrist, already swollen red, and I screamed, "You're hurting me! Let go!" He noticed my swollen wrist, and something in his eyes softened. He let go. He gently rubbed my wrist, then said softly, "Come back with me. I'll give the child the best of everything." I pushed him off, and snapped, "Go back? Back where? Back to that snake pit you call the Eastern Palace? Or your manor? To go back to being your bedroom maid? Your Highness, what we had was purely transactional, and you never once treated me like a real person. In your eyes, I was never anything more than an object. The moment I got out of there, we were done, and let's be real, we're not even in the same league. There's no way the Emperor would ever let the Crown Prince marry some nobody from the countryside." That one clearly got to him. "Shen Qinghuan, that's a pretty messed up thing to say. You secretly had my child? Kept me in the dark all these years. Jingxing didn't have to go through any of that suffering. I'm trying to bring him home, claim him as my son, make him a prince. Am I wrong for that? I missed years of watching him grow up. Every laugh, every cry, every single moment. I wasn't there, that's not fair to me." Hearing him say that, I thought back to things he'd said years ago. Those cruel, degrading words, and the tears just came flooding out, like a broken dam.